Hey guys, welcome to what is our first Suddenly Soundtracks musical watch along to coincide with the Suddenly Soundtracks episode. Tomorrow night we are watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the cult classic about transvestites and fishnets, kinky sex, and a lot of gay porn. I am with three great people tonight. First is Patrick Campbell. Hi Pat, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you? It's good to be here. It's weird to be doing a watch along in the middle of the week because we haven't done this. Like it's usually Monday or Friday, and now it's Wednesday. So we have one that bridges the gap, and that's a good thing because we're talking a musical that I love very, very much with some people that I love very, very much, and it's a perfect kind of Wednesday night quarantine movie.
Yep, and we have something before we bring on our guests. We have speaking of watch-alongs, we have a watch-along tomorrow. What is that?
Yeah, we actually have something very, very special. Friday evening, we have our Young Guns 2 watch along with none other than Baby Carrots himself, Mark Ellis. I am so excited about this. This is like the longest in-joke in the making for the last year and a half. We had spent so much time making fun of Patrick Hogue for not seeing Young Guns 2. It was brought up in literally every episode of our podcast leading up to this. And now it's finally happening. And Mark Ellis is going to be on the show. He's going to be there with myself and Frank Janisch, Evan Degraff, you, and it's going to be amazing. And Young Guns 2 is a movie I love very, very much. Even though John Roca was like, come at me when you guys are watching a real Western and a good Western. He was in my mentions today talking shit on Young Guns 2. But, you know, Roca isn't here, and Mark Ellis is, and that's what matters. And also, if you guys get a chance, if you want, go on and watch our very first episode of Something Rotten. Frank and I dropped it today. We reminisced and talked about Tommy Boy, my favorite comedy of all time. It turned 25 this year, and we went and looked back at a film that is rotten on Rotten Tomatoes that we thought did not deserve to be. It is a movie I very, very, very hold dear to my heart, and we had the best conversation about it. So if you guys would, you can check it out. We also have Famous Last Words with Late to the Party, hosted by Evan Degraff. If you love Late to the Party, if you love the Schmodown, if you love watching content on YouTube, you have to watch this podcast. There's a lot of information that you could take from it. And of course, if you know you're watching this with us, tomorrow we have Suddenly Soundtracks' return with William the Beast Bibiani and Whitney Seibold talking Rocky Horror with Chris Clark.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and actually, if you, as that graphic said, if you are the most active person in the chat tonight, I'm giving away 2 Rocky Horror posters. Tonight and tomorrow, the two respective people active in both of those chats will be getting those posters. So be sure to be active in the chat, like, subscribe, make sure to share this with all the folks back at home. So I'm going to bring in my first guest for this watch along, Ms. Video Drew. How are you doing, Drew? What are your thoughts on Rocky Horror? You pumped?
Oh man, I mean, yeah, I'm so pumped. I wish I could give you guys a brief little summary about my issue with Rocky Horror, which is that I was shown it at 4 or 5 years old. It was one of the first movies I ever saw. And my parents just didn't bother explaining it. Like, let me watch it as many times as I wanted. I wasn't allowed to have friends over for a while because nobody else's kids' parents would allow them over because I'd always try to reenact scenes from Rocky Horror, like a movie that I believe was about like space clowns doing funny, weird things and like stretchy outfits and wigs. Yeah, this movie was my first musical. You could probably tell that there's something wrong with me because of that.
Yeah, this musical is phenomenal, and I'm going to bring on, from Arizona, you guys know him, he's Mr. Tim Franco. Hi, Tim. What are your thoughts on Rocky Horror? Are you pumped?
I am so pumped. Similar to Drew, actually, I saw this movie at a very young age, probably shouldn't have seen it. No, yeah. I'm not going to say that because my parents showed me a lot of movies that I turned out fine, and I love it. It really added to my appreciation of all the weird movies that I love. But yeah, my first musical I fell in love with was The Wizard of Oz, but then right after that, it was this movie, and mostly because my dad used to listen to the soundtrack a whole lot, and I was first introduced to the soundtrack, and then I saw the movie probably when I was like 6 or 7. And then I did do a lot of reenacting the music, and of course I didn't really fully understand anything of what was going on. But
God,
I just loved the music, and I thought it was a lot of fun. And now I appreciate for what it actually is, but I just love it. It's great.
I wonder how much like my formative identities about what sexuality and transgender, like all that stuff was based on the fact that this is like what I grew up with. It must have been kind of like an offensive idea because I was like, you're alien, you're singing aliens, like whatever. But like, it was also like, this is cool.
Well, it's funny because, like, similar to you guys, there was a local theater that played this movie almost every week. It was our dollar theater, but they did the revival screenings all the time. And so that was what was my basis understanding for Rocky Horror for so long, because we went to that theater all the time and they'd always have the title card for Rocky Horror. So from the youngest age, I knew and understood Rocky Horror when I probably shouldn't have, but I'm glad I did, because I think it's like completely changed my outlook on how much I love musicals and stuff like that, because this and Little Shop obviously are ones that I love very much, and they really shape me in a very specific way because they're kind of horror based, if you will.
Interesting. That's interesting. Me and Roka once got into this about it. Like, it's also why Sweeney Todd is probably one of the top ones. That is a true horror musical.
Right, exactly.
Horror and rock and roll just mix really, really well. Now we're going to start this, guys. So just be sure that right when we're done, each of us are going to go through our top 3 favorite songs and our bottom 3 favorite songs in line with Suddenly soundtrack. So be sure to pay attention, guys, and make sure to comment your favorite songs in the chat. So without further ado, guys, we are going to press play in 5, 4,
Wait. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1, play. Here we go.
So I don't know how many of you guys own the Blu-ray or have watched this movie in this way before, but the original version of this that they wanted was supposed to start in black and white, and the Blu-ray has that put back in where it doesn't turn to color until you actually get to the time warp.
Yeah. I can't remember if this is a Mandela effect or something, but like I remember it black and white until that part, like because it's a Wizard of Oz story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of like Wild at Heart is a Wizard of Oz story.
I decided not to do that this time, but yeah, the Blu-ray I have has that feature, as well as both UK and US versions of the film.
Yeah, that's actually the way I normally watch it. So it's actually weird for me to watch it right now with the color side of it, just because I'm in my office. I don't have my Blu-ray player up here with me, so just a fun little thing.
What do you mean you don't have your Blu-ray player with you, but you have all the DVDs and stuff here? Why do you keep them in different rooms?
The office is so pretty, and it looks like a nice backdrop while we're
in it. It's an aesthetic. I knew it.
You know.
So everyone knows whose lips these are, right?
Yep. These are Patricia Quinn's.
Yep.
Patricia Quinn's. Who did you identify with as a child in this movie?
Who, me?
Anyone?
I mean, I feel like my obvious answer is Brad. Like anyone that's just kind of...
I was such a Columbia. Wait, everyone thought I was the frizzy hair chick, but I felt like I was such a Columbia.
I could see that.
I was sparkly hat, short haired girl, but everyone else was like, you're definitely long haired, slightly chubby girl.
I always went with Frankenfurter just because he sang all the great songs, and
oh my god,
and I love Tim Curry.
You have to understand, between this, Clue, and the It miniseries, my understanding of what Tim Curry was up until a certain age was gender morphing clown that could sometimes put on male clothing and act British.
Right. No, I get that. I could get that completely. It's so funny to think yeah, Brad was the one I related to the most, but that was also because at the time when I first saw this, the one thing I watched a ton of when I was young was Spin City, and Barry Bostwick is the mayor in that. And if you ever watch the show and pay attention to his suits, he almost always has a button on that says "I survived Rocky Horror."
That's amazing. Wait, have you guys seen the sequel, right? Shock Treatment?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Bitchin' in the kitchen and something in the bat. No, fucking, I forgot the lyrics. But sorry, can we curse?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, bitch in the kitchen and moan in the bedroom tonight. Jessica Harper, I believe.
That's such an underrated movie too. But I mean, it's also partially because they, recast literally everyone.
Another movie.
And the creator, Richard O'Brien, the only thing I feel like he did huge after this was Ever After and Dark City.
Yep. And I love Dark City, by the way.
I fucking love Dark City. We were talking about that the other night. It's one of the best horror movies, set in outer space, I think.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I was gonna say another movie that made me think of Tim Curry a lot when I was younger. I don't know if you guys hopefully some of you have seen it, but it's called The Worst Witch.
No. Oh, I remember him being in it. That's the one where he sings the song, right?
Yeah, he sings this song where he's flying to the sky and he's like a warlock.
I remember him in Fern Gully as like the Toxic Cloud.
Yep.
Star Drew says, did anyone mind the live action Fox movie that they did?
Yeah, I minded a whole bunch.
I minded it.
I agree.
I didn't watch it, but I did mind it.
But then again, by this point in my life, like Rocky Horror doesn't hold the religious like thing that it used to. Like I was over it not over it, but I was already like I'm on to new things by the time high school rolled around. Everyone else was getting into it. And so, like, again, like I didn't understand the gender identity aspects of it. So I don't know if it offended me so much as I was like, Reeve Carney, get out of my face. I love you, but get out of my face.
Right. I also shout out to VB's sculpted leather art. Tim Curry is so versatile. Yes, he is. Yeah. I mean, everyone. Psych is like my favorite TV show on the face of the planet still to this day. And the guest spot he did on Psych, where he's basically Simon Cowell, is one of the all-time great guest starring roles of all time.
I'm trying to. I keep having to take Heather's. She did a sculpture of me. It's in the background, and I don't want to keep taking it up and down because it's amazing. It's on my Instagram. Shout out, VB.
Shout out to our art house theater here in Tucson, who has a shadow cast that's been running since the 70s, and I still have time to see it. I need to go see it, but I think when this whole thing is done, I think that's something Pat and I are gonna have to go do.
Yeah, that was something you and I were talking about right before all this. Funny enough,
Shadowcast is amazing. It makes the movie 10 times better.
Yeah, it's so good that I've never actually gone to one, and I've been around.
That guy always. I like that small dude, whoever he was.
I like how it's just all the Transylvanians that are just the people in the.
And Tim Curry also is the priest, I think, right?
Yeah, it's him and Patricia Quinn, and it's all of them. Yeah. Look, there he is.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Look at that guy in the background, the tall guy. He's so goofy looking. Janet White.
This guy's like just having a totally different movie.
Yeah, those eyes. Mine's is in color. I don't think mine's is in black and white.
Mine's not in black and white either.
Sorry, I said it's a Blu-ray. You can actually turn it on as a feature.
Yeah, in the Blu-ray, it asks you when you start the movie if you want to play it with the black and white opening.
That's cool.
It's really the preferred way for me to watch it at this point, but it would have meant like actually going out of my way to do stuff. So it's
You're
fine.
Just a connoisseur.
It's almost like I have to be because I write for this movie trivia show online.
Mm-hmm. It's going to ask, No, it's just like my dad is exactly the same way.
Has there ever been a Rocky Horror question in the show? No, I don't. Like
yes.
At least been about the black and white nature of the opening.
Because our fearless leader would probably kill me if I did something like that.
I would love it.
There should be like a category for cult films.
I would love to have a B movie category. This is something I've talked about greatly in the past, but I know that it's the same problem I run into when I want to have martial arts films is that there's not a big enough group, and it feels like it's the kind of thing that might get someone blown out of a match if they landed on it. But I love the idea of having something like that, and this would 100% fit into that. I mean, but it would 100% fit under musicals. People just don't put musicals on the wheel very often.
Well, I would like to, except I'm now afraid that too many of our opponents that I assumed by heteronormative gender standards would not going to be good at musicals turned out to love musicals, like all of them.
Well, we're also a film community. Part of me is not surprised about this. Janet, I love this song so much.
Yeah, this one's phenomenal.
This was
as a kid. My top 3.
This was probably my favorite song as a kid for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because I got to say the word "damn it."
Right. I just love the way it plays out. It's just so good. And Susan Sarandon just so pretty.
It slays. Oh, she slays. Yeah. So, Vinny, So Vinny Mancuso, from the Butcher Boys. Okay, so I had him write a profile of Susan Sarandon at the Observer, a cover story, and she spent the entire time hitting on him. Like they went back to her place, and it was a real great story. And I was like, "Did you hook up with Susan Sarandon?" He was like, "He didn't," but like it was super super cool.
Oh wow!
I was like, "Can you imagine?"
Rocky Horror.
I just love how they seem so unenthusiastic about everything.
Yeah.
It's just one of the things that always makes me so happy. Oh, damn it. I could watch it forever. And again, Barry Bostwick and Susan Sarandon, they're adorable together.
I love you too. We're allowed to sing along, right? Because I don't understand how else I'm supposed to do this.
And that's Go See the Man Who Began It.
Janet.
We met in his science exam.
Janet.
Maybe you give me the eye and panic.
Janet. One thing to say.
Hey, and that's damn it, Janet. I love you.
Yeah, that's what usually you have to do before getting permission to marry. Alright, I'm mad.
All right, so real quick, I want to shout out Movie Fanboy Fanobi, who actually just gave us $5 on our.
Yeah, he did.
I'm so happy about that. PJ, Video Drew, Bibbs, Ellis, Frankie, who knows who's in the thumbnail or who's really here, but it's a great community sending love and support. Hey, Drew, we love you. So happy you enjoyed the sculpture and photo journey. Have a great stream, Steve and Heather.
Oh my God. See, Steve and Heather, they're like video drones. They're the ultimate video drones. Like people might have fans. They might have an Action Army. I have like cultists that make art. I have like an Ari Aster film.
Nice. Charles Gray, of course, was in 2 Bond movies.
And he also played Drag in his Bond movie.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
he's the best blow. I felt.
No, he's not. My favorite Blofeld is actually Telly.
Yeah.
Donald Pleasance is like iconic because he's like that's like the iconic image. But I do love Diamonds Are Forever, and I do love Charles Gray, especially that scene where he's dressed as a lady. It's so ridiculous. And then he was in You Only Live Twice as like an MI6 operative in Japan, and he gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Chris, what is your current time?
I have 11:07.
I think there was a little confusion in the chat on where we had the cue point.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that basically where you guys are? Well, you guys are too because of the thing, but never mind.
Right, and that's why I think I should have been clear. Is only if you were using that link that we were at 2:57, not later into the movie. That was my bad.
Time.
You're going off me. I don't have that thing. I'm on a DVD.
Do you think that they remained married, Brad and Janet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they probably didn't even get married.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of like.
Oh wait, that was shock treatment. That was shock treatment.
I feel like they became different people after this experience.
And they were forever changed.
And just went different ways.
I mean, they both got basically raped by Frank, so.
Well, it's a gray nope.
Seduced, but yeah.
I love this shot right here with the motorcycle, the way it comes through like that. For whatever reason, it reminds me of an alien invasion type movie or something like that.
I think it's supposed to be, right? It's one of them. It's either Eddie or it's one of them.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
It wouldn't be Eddie because he's freezing. He's frozen.
No. Oh, yeah, he comes out, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, I like the way that it looks. I just think it's very, very cool.
I do wish that Eddie got a little bit more, like, development because...
Although, go ahead.
Yeah.
Something tells me Chris feels that way because Meatloaf plays him.
Oh, yeah, I love Meatloaf. But yeah, if you listen to the soundtrack, you can hear Eddie's vocals in Time Warp.
You know what musical I love? It's not really a musical because it's only like a movie musical. Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
With Paul Williams, right? Yeah. I love it.
I've like gone into long Twitter conversations like with Paul Williams because he then wrote a book about how that movie was such a failure. He never wanted to do music again. And then Edgar Wright found it and said it really inspired him to like write Baby Driver and write him a part in Baby Driver.
Yeah.
It's like so cool. That movie was so inspirational.
And
when you get to the 14-minute mark, can you say when you're there so that they can be caught up with us?
All right. I'll let you know when the 14-minute mark is there. It's about 30 seconds from now.
Okay. I'll pull this next question up real quick once we get to the 14-minute mark because it's going to sidetrack Chris completely. So.
Okay. Yeah. I'm concentrating on the time code really fast.
Nope, I know. That's why I don't.
Lightning.
Enter at your own risk. I love that.
Am I at the right part? Lightning?
Yeah.
Enter at your own risk?
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I are at the same spot. It was not us.
I'm there too.
Yeah, I'm probably like 20 seconds behind you guys because I'm on a different thing, but it's fine. I just got to the lightning part. 3, 2, 1, 14 minutes.
So Matt Whitehurst asked, "What is a great Meatloaf song?"
All right.
Bright. I'm just gonna be singing. You guys can talk.
Yeah.
Shining star, no matter what, who you are, there's a light
over at the
Frankenstein's place. There's a light
burning in the fireplace.
There's a light.
I just want to shout out the chat for enjoying Drew's vocals. I will not sing or I will kill everyone.
Oh, I'm not a very good singer. It's just she's the one person that's in my range, which I don't even know what that it means. Like I no one else's range except like her and Mrs. Lovett. It's weird.
To answer that question about the Meatloaf song, I would say Paradise by the Dashboard Light is a classic, but I would go out onto the deep cuts, like Out of the Frying Pan and Into the Fire, Objects in the Rearview Mirror may appear closer than they are, Everything Louder Than Everything Else, It Just Won't Quit, and In the Land of the Pig, The Butcher is King. Those are the great ones.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you guys want to time code it to what I'm singing, that will help. Into my life.
Everything Louder Than Everything Else is one of my favorite Meatloaf songs.
It's a good rocker.
Give a shout out to my sister.
What was that?
I said I'm giving a shout out to my sister who's in the chat.
Yes, she said that. Oh God, it came earlier.
Everybody just sync their time codes up.
This is how slap happy tired I am. I'm willing to sing. Nope. Too soon.
Of every
Actually, I did not hear this. This is interesting. But I'm sure everyone here has heard Susan Sarandon got pneumonia during the filming of this movie. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that she sang, like, this was like her first role, right? Was this her first one?
This is the first like major role that made it a breakthrough for her.
That's crazy. And she sang it too, right? This was her voice.
Yeah.
She's dope.
I'll just say that Time Warp is a go-to karaoke song of mine.
Yeah.
That's a Time Warp person, weirdly. I don't like anything that demands that I make like directional movements in a dance. Like the hokey pokey.
Yeah, right now my the overlay is uploading with a video. At the end, after everything is done, before we sign off, I'm going to show you guys me and the band doing Time Warp and Hot Patootie.
Nice.
Apparently, she has talked about it a lot. Somehow, I've just clearly missed that information somewhere along the way. I can't explain it. It's just one of those things, but I'm glad you brought it to my attention. It makes me love it so much more.
Well, I'm going to give you guys some interesting. I'll give you guys some interesting
she pulls it off, and it makes me like her more. I should say.
Did she get pneumonia because they shot outside in the rain? Is that what the?
I would guess.
She probably got pneumonia from the rain.
Yeah.
What other thing? What other thing?
Come inside.
Come inside. Didn't understand any sexual jokes at this age.
I love when Brad's in there and he's like, "Say, any of you guys know how to Madison?"
Yeah, I know this movie really dates itself. Like it first says in the title sequence, then it's also like you hear the radio announcer like talking about the time period, and then there's clearly, man, I don't know what Richard O'Brien was thinking. Great guess, Brad. Kind of not off base.
I wonder how it was making this movie behind the scenes. How awkward it was.
What they didn't expect or think or hope that was that anyone was going to see it, and like Tim Curry's like, was famously mortified when anyone saw this.
Well, what's the guy that played Rocky? Didn't he disown the film?
I think that is correct.
Yeah, movie Fanobi.
Movie Fanobi.
Yeah, for crying out loud, the closer of Bat Out of Hell, that 8-minute ballad is the greatest love song ever written. If we ever do love songs, yeah.
Time is
fleeting.
Madness takes its
soul.
So listen
closely. Not for very much longer.
I've
got to
keep control.
I remember the time. I love that I'm half a second ahead of all of you.
Those moments when the darkness within me and the voice will be calling.
So right here is where it went to color. If you're watching it in black and white, that is the moment of the color.
That's the Oz moment.
That's the Oz moment. So that's just something that I always love. I love the little intercuts of this, by the way. It just makes me happy.
Well, I love that fourth wall narrator break. It's kind of like Into the Woodsy. Like who is he? Like, is he involved with the plot? Like, what's his deal?
Heck yeah, and his closing at the very end is great.
It really drives you insane.
It reminds me almost in its randomness, but like the theory, or the idea that it's so random, it has to lead to another universe that the creator had in his mind. It reminds me of Welcome to Womp Womp. Whoop whoop. Do you remember that movie? It's about an Australian crater town that's created by a meteorite, and somebody kidnaps Jonathan Dench. What's his name? The guy from That Thing You Do. And they all sing. Sound of Music every morning, and they're like mutated weirdos. It's this really freaking weird movie called Welcome to Whoop Whoop or Womp Womp.
I see y'all.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that. Now I need to see it.
We've been to the time slip.
And nothing can ever be the same.
I mean, I know, Drew, that we were talking about the idea of you being Columbia, but you look a little bit like the frizzy-haired one, too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. People would be like, I look just like the frizzy-haired one. I don't. Yeah. I thought I was the tap dancing one, but I'm very clearly the frizzy-haired one. I thought I was that one.
Columbia totally reminds me of like Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You took me up. You took me by She kind of got that early Harley Quinn, like Ellen Green.
I honestly wonder if that was part of where they based it from. I could
maybe because her relationship to Frankenfurter is very much Harley's Joker relationship.
Yeah,
right.
It's very abusive. Like, and she's not part of the aliens. She was just like a person that joined up, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's just a thing I think about because I mean, there's definitely similarities to be said to it there.
Let's go, Columbia.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't do this either.
I had a crush on Columbia when I was a kid.
Well, that's why I wanted to be that one and not the frizzy-haired one.
I mean, very few people probably didn't have a crush on her at least once if you saw this.
That's some tap dancing.
That's some tap dancing.
Put your hands on your hips.
I think the thing that makes him also as the narrator breaking the fourth wall is him being British and just saying everything's so dry makes it 100% even funnier.
Maybe he's just in another room of the house.
I bet that's probably true.
Charles Gray's automatically the most British person in any movie when he's in like.
Wait, you're talking about Giles from Buffy, who played the British Frankenfurter, like the original British Frankenfurter. Yeah. It's amazing.
I like movie Fanobi saying, "Laugh my ass off." Play this singing back without context is like singing in the shower.
I hope I sing great in the shower.
And then Matt Whitehurst says, "Damn, I want to check this movie out again." You should check this movie out again right now while we watch it.
Also, I'm realizing that I really just need to get like my ass on Twitch, like Twitch Sings, where you can just do karaoke on Twitch.
I love this.
We should do Twitch Sings.
Is this one of the all-time great character introductions?
Yes, of all time. Of all time.
This introduction.
Yep.
Yeah. Better than any Batman.
This isn't just a character introduction. This is a Tim Curry introduction to the actual movie industry.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just like scared.
How do you do?
Her face. How'd you do?
Spoilers. This is in my top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, as it should be.
This is also one of the top.
I don't know. Real quick, apparently, Movie Fanobi saying YouTube streaming and internet is super choppy tonight.
Is it a specific stream? Because I can maybe figure out if it's mine and switch over to another comp.
Well, because it seems like it's been fluid for all of us, at least as far as it's been on my end. So it may
it should be YouTube because are we cutting out on each other? I don't think so.
I don't know.
But just
how's everyone else's stream? Are they seeing shit okay?
Yeah.
Nobody said anything, so it might just.
It might also be that we're all in different, like slightly different time codes.
I don't think it has anything to do with us.
Yeah.
Show you around, maybe. Play you. You're back.
Really? Want something? That's not too abysmal. I could put in an old Steve Reeves movie.
I'm glad we caught you at home.
Can we use your phone?
We're both in a bit of a hurry.
Right.
Say where we are, then go back to the car.
Don't be any hurry.
We don't want to be any worry.
Where you got?
You got caught in a trap. Well,
how about
that?
This is a mess.
Oh, baby. Don't you panic. By the light of the night, I will all seem all right. I'll catch you just in time.
And of course, if you're in the chat, if you have not, please like the video and leave a comment on the video.
I always forget to say that in my videos. My God.
Oh, I'm gonna. This is also the Streamlabs link.
I will say the only type of mechanic to have is a satanic mechanic. Honestly,
I mean that's the obvious answer.
Would you guys consider this to be one of the greatest villain songs of all time?
The what?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you consider this a villain song?
Yeah. I'm not even sure though. It's my favorite one of his in the movie. So I don't know. I think it's up there as an introduction to a bad guy song. Yeah, but he's got other great songs. He's
basically luring them in and saying,
"It's putting him as a villain for this song is identifying this as the villainous part of the character."
That's true because he doesn't really turn to be a villain until he kills Eddie.
I wouldn't even say he's a villain. He's an anti. He's like a Kylo Ren.
Okay. Yeah.
Matt Whitehurst says we know who loves this movie very much. Drew can probably quote the whole thing.
Me, Drew, or another Drew?
You.
Yeah, no, I watched this movie at 5 years old and never stopped watching it until I got at 13.
Hardcore.
How did you at 5 years old react to the bedroom scene?
But not the symptoms. I had some childhood issues, antisocial issues, let's just say, that got me kicked out of school a lot.
Oh.
Probably due to some issues of this film that I do not understand were not supposed to be incorporated into first grade math.
Oh, okay. That's great. It's hilarious.
My parents were like very counterculture to the point of like counter programming us as children. Like they would show us all horror stuff, adult stuff. They were like, yeah, she's good.
Mike K would say that it would make the top 10 of villain songs.
Beyonce, Janet Weiss.
Vice.
I like how they just get stripped and they never wear anything else the rest of the movie.
She is Harley Quinn. Holy crap.
It's like the second movie in the last year that I've watched where I remember and see where the Harley Quinn influence is. The other is Joe versus the Volcano, because the very first Meg Ryan character in that movie is basically Harley Quinn. Like the way she talks.
I thought it was Ellen Green, like from Little Shop, honestly. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
doctor.
That one's good too.
Yeah.
And her relationship with the dentist is very...
Yeah.
I've always thought it as that. I'm sorry, doctor. I'm sorry. How many people talk like that?
Not many.
Whoever voices Minnie Mouse.
No, not with that New York.
Not with the New York side of it. That's why if you've ever seen Joe versus the Volcano, Meg Ryan's character in that sounds just like Harley Quinn with the New York accent down.
You know what's the one that always impresses me? How basically Daniel Day-Lewis from There Will Be Blood, we give him so much credit for method acting, but really what he just did was take Dustin Hoffman's Hook and like put it in There Will Be Blood. It's like the same guy.
It's the same role.
Peter Pan, I drink your milkshake, Peter Pan. Like it's the same dude.
Don't stop me this time, Smee.
Don't try to stop me, Smee, stop me.
Hey, what are you doing? Stop me.
And then other lines from There Will Be Blood that I didn't bother memorizing.
And Hook I hate Eli Sunday.
Hook is my favorite Peter Pan movie.
It's really it's a tie between that and the one where Jason Isaacs is fucking shirtless. So
right, that's the 2004 one, I think, or 2005.
I mean, I don't even care. It's just the one where Lucius Malfoy was just the sexualized Hook, which is problematic because Hook is always supposed to be the same guy who plays the father, and so the really sexualized Hook was problematic. Voice.
Matt says the film is in the top 10 of musicals between 10 and 6 just because it's been a while since I've seen it.
My issue here is like, is it a musical? I mean, it's a musical movie, but do we count it as a musical because it was originally like a movie? Like, do you count all that jazz as, and it's not performed on the stage without the movie being present usually?
This was a musical before the movie. It was? Yeah. It first premiered in London with Tim Curry and Meatloaf, and then they went to the Roxy in 1973, and then after that they made the movie.
But still, like, would you consider like when they put on productions of this now, it's always with the movie, right? Like, I've never seen like
they do the show is called the Rocky Horror Show, and if you go to that, it's a stage show. Me and my friend Jacoby actually went to see that back in October. They do it every year at the Bucks County Playhouse. It's an actual production, and the movie, the show is actually a little bit different than the movie. There's an added song in it called "Once in a While."
I saw that. Well, what about then? Would something like the Buffy musical count because it went on stage and like, or like the Always Sunny musical, or like things that have been
anything that has 5 or more songs that the characters actually sing and incorporate the plot is a musical, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm not even doing that kind of parsing of it. I'm just saying if it's not on stage or has ever been adapted for the stage. But you're telling me it is. It's like how I think of dance movies. Dance movies have to be movies that are about dance, like diegetically. Like the characters have to know that, like the characters have to understand that dance is like a motivating. They have to. It can't just be like they're breaking out into dance and it's because they're happy, like West Side Story style. They have to like dance needs to be a part of the plot, unless I'm mistaken. Like it has to be a concept. It's like Coyote Ugly is a dance movie. Like Black Swan is a dance movie. A lot of musicals aren't dance movies.
No, they're not dance movies. That's a hard.
Not unless it's a Fred Astaire film.
I wouldn't say it's. I would think it's all subjective.
No, it's not subjective. It's if characters know that they're dancing, and I've always thought it's very categorically straightforward, and everyone else seems to be confused by this. If characters understand that they're dancing, if diegetically in the world of film they're not like just breaking out into dance. Hairspray could be considered a dance movie because they're at a dance contest. Dance is a big part of the film. Okay. You know,
Grease has a lot of that too.
Well, but Grease, it doesn't play a pivotal part in. They have a dance scene in like in the thing, but it's not a pivotal part of what moves the momentum forward. It's not like a plot thing, right? West Side Story also has a scene in the gymnasium where they dance and they know they're dancing, but is it a dance movie? like not so much, right?
Do you think that they know that they're singing in this movie?
This isn't a dance movie by any consideration. But this is not. Musicals are different. Musicals are just like how you said it. They're singing in a musical that's a musical. Dance movies, I feel like, aren't just movies where, because a lot of dance movies can be about dancing and without musicals, like Center Stage, Suspiria. Unless I'm wrong, PJ, in which case, please clarify before I put it as a wheel slice.
I have never thought about it in the way that we've talked about it until now.
Just never thought about it that way.
Because I emailed you guys last year and I was like, wait, can we clarify something? Because I feel like no one else understands.
I don't think I was on that email thread originally.
Oh.
Because I didn't take over until January.
Okay, because I think I have a leg up here because every time, even though I try to explain to people, I feel like people still don't understand that this is a very clear-cut category. But maybe I'm wrong and I should be very careful where I tread here.
We will talk more about this off mic in order to
sure. But Loose is a dance movie, yes.
Yeah.
And as I understand it. Then again, I'm not the question writer. I'm not the authority. This is just how I understand it.
And this is where we're introduced to the sex toy, Rocky. And his song, which is cut from the soundtrack. It's not on the soundtrack because they lost the master tape.
What?
They lost the master tape to this song before it was released for soundtrack. So the overdubs and everything they never released on the soundtrack.
You mean the Sword of Damocles, or?
Yeah, Sword of Damocles. If you look up the movie soundtrack, it's not on there.
That's funny.
Here's another fun one. Is Silver Linings Playbook a dance movie? I say yes because it is all about leading up to the dance sequence. It's all about them practicing for that.
Yeah. What would you consider Whiplash?
Whiplash is not a musical. It's a coming of age film or drama. But don't let me get into the don't let me get into this categorical mind held. Just dance movies is something that I've been on. I'm pretty sure I can corner the market on it if I ever get a chance to play again. I can teach someone else how to because I don't feel like watching a bunch of dance movies.
I like how all those switches look like condiments.
It's just a bunch of food coloring. Is Pat alive?
I am alive.
I think
I'm totally just watching the movie. I keep getting sidetracked instead of talking.
The movie's amazing.
Because I love the
great sequence to it. It's so technicolor.
That's why I very drawn into the colors of it.
Is this where they got the colors for Pride?
Yes, this movie is where people learned about Pride.
No, I mean maybe because this is the early 70s.
I feel like that movement was already happening though. The Richard O'Brien, is he a trans person or
I think he identifies as a binary or something.
Non-binary, because he's always seemed like.
Yeah, I
think he made some pretty awful comments though. Later in life.
Yeah.
That kind of swayed my opinion on him a little bit.
God damn it! Also, another thing we have to disown.
But I do like this movie, and I like him in the movie. But I think I'm pretty sure he's made some.
Wait, what do you mean, bad comment? I'll have to look it up. But
I think he's made comments about trans people, actually. Don't quote me, but I think he has.
Yeah. Also, there's
cutting the thread.
Whoa, me. My life is a mystery. Oh, can't be. I've got a song of really good. Honestly, don't miss this song that much.
This is an inferior version of Hot Patootie.
It is.
No crap.
Oh, you know what one I forgot that I love and I might want to swap out for one of my favorites is the one about Eddie's Teddy. Eddie's Teddy, yeah. I love that song.
I is low. I'm dressed up with a place to go.
And don't able to know is I'm at the start of a pretty big downer. So this reminds me a lot of Phantom of the Paradise, just in terms of well, it's such a glam rock thing that. That's what did they think they were making? What did they think was happening when they were filming this? They must have known it was going to be some weird cult thing or porn.
Yeah.
Now this is on Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm not looking at the actual stuff, but it says in 2017, O'Brien came under controversy when he said that transgender women are not real women. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he made Frankenfurter an alien, so I guess
But he does identify, I think, as a like a third gender, I believe, or something.
So confused. Is Nicole? Is that another Franco? Is that your sister or your?
That's my sister. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Those are the pride colors. I was looking at the wrong colors. I was like, red is not a pride color. Yeah, you're right. Maybe. But had Stonewall happened yet? Dude just burst into song. He knows English, motherfucker.
I like that they make him just like a big dumb animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah.
After all that, he's just a big dumb slab of meat.
Mm-hmm.
He's okay.
Well, he's got Eddie's brain. Yeah, he's got Eddie's brain.
He has half of Eddie's brain. Yeah, that's missed in the movie. Many people don't realize that. They say it like very, very softly.
You see his brain. You see Eddie's brain.
Yeah, it's all visual. And then Frank makes a comment about it. But originally, in Touch Me, I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but Touch Me, at the end of it, it was supposed to be touch me. I wanna be dirty.
Oh, I see.
Hoppatootie, bless my soul.
Got it.
Yeah,
Rocky. That would have been really cool, actually.
Rocky was going to sing Hoppatootie reprise during Touch Me, but they cut it. Yeah.
Oh, I really would have liked that.
Yeah, because that would have drilled in the home that he is part Eddie.
98 pounds.
Oh, this one.
On the face. When kicked to the ground. So,
Why do those look like candy canes?
They do.
Yeah.
This is the prelude to the best song.
This is the what?
Prelude to the best song.
I'm
having a hard time finding actually nailing down my top three.
I just can't handle how much I love this movie still.
Like, what did I think that was at 5? Like, what did I think he had under there even?
At 5 years old, you're not meant to actually probably know.
No, I was just probably confused about why it was bulging out.
I like that his bikini pants are bedazzled with an R. I don't think I've ever noticed that before.
I love his little catwalk. Chest, arms, and legs. Oh, sorry, but if we only knew of our plan, just 7 days, I could make you a man. Push up. Push up.
Clean and jerk.
Dynamic tension.
Must be hard work.
Hard work.
Such an effort. If he only knew.
Oh my God, Tim Curry goes for it so hard. He was such a. I mean, he's still alive, right? He's just in a chair.
He's in a chair now. Yeah.
He was such a he's like Roy Scheider. Like, he's just such a physical actor. Like, he's so good at the physicality of it. Even when it's something like.
Chris's favorite part.
Here comes Chris's moment.
I think all of our favorite parts, right?
I did when I was a kid. I mean, I still love the song, obviously, but I really loved it.
I didn't like this part. I was like, this is like the real singer comes in and like does a rock song. It reminds me I like it a lot more.
We're gonna have Chris sing this song. Sing along, Chris.
Whatever happened to Saturday night? You're just so sharp and you felt alright. You don't seem the same since Cosmic Light came into my life. I thought I was divine. I used to go wherever that you could go. I listened to the music on the radio. A saxophone was blowing on a rock and roll show, so we hopped in the backseat, fucked and really had a good time. Yeah. God damn, I really love that rock and roll.
I'm laughing. Yeah. See, you see
fuck. Hoppatootie.
They're singing on the. Yeah, they're singing. See. Ripper is very concerned about everybody right now.
And he totally didn't play that saxophone.
No, yeah.
What, you mean diegetically? Sure? No.
It looks like he's really playing it.
They got Clarence Clemens. We all know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
My head used to swim from the perfume I smelled. My pants kind of fumbled with a white plastic belt. I tasted baby pink.
Like half a second ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like a half second ahead, and I don't want to fuck you up.
Put some hair on Buddy Holly was singing his very last song. With your arms around me, girl, you try to sing along. My DVD just crashed, and I do not know the time code. All right, okay.
Your DVD crashed.
My app just crashed.
You know what? Let's pause it then, and then we can get it. So he's not a half a second.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
You got it.
I got it.
Or Tim is gonna have the time code for him too.
Oh, rock and roll.
Rocky, the little dance that he's doing just makes me laugh. He's just like,
I got there. I know what it is.
Can I say this? There's something very Tomish about Rocky.
That's a fair point.
You guys know. Chris's DVD didn't crash. He just restarted the song.
No, that's totally it. I'm here though.
This is where Chris will be stuck the rest of the night as we record. It's just going to be playing on a loop on his computer.
This is great. But after this song is where the movie gets weird.
Yep.
That's where it gets weird? It hasn't been weird already?
Not really. It hasn't been too weird. I would argue that the bedroom scene is the turning point.
The bedroom scenes.
Chris, I think the whole movie's a little weird. Just a thought.
Weird is good.
Weird is good. Yeah, not a complaint. I'm just saying. We're really underselling how weird it actually is by saying this is not one of the weirdest parts of the movie. If he only has half a brain and singing and dancing and on a motorcycle.
I think he's the only straight person in the film, too. And then there's that he's dead.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true, huh?
I think so.
I don't know. I think the one that's having sex with his sister is probably also straight. Riff Raff?
Oh, yeah. That's incest.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's true.
Yeah, but, yeah.
I guess it is straight.
And Brad started off as straight.
So he's bi.
And, I mean, I don't know really how
man rape doesn't make you bi.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know how he really ends the movie. I don't know what his feelings are.
Well, he's in drag, but he's been brainwashed. Let's not confuse the issues. I think he goes back to.
That's what I mean. I feel like he's still.
Wait, you think that he had some nascent?
I think he liked it.
Wow, that's a whole mood right there. You think you liked it?
I don't know.
They all gave in and they all submitted to their sides. But
I don't know if you guys can see what's happening, but in the corner of my screen, the dogs keep jumping up, trying to get off my lap.
I can see them.
One for the vaults. Even though we missed that quote. Tricep.
Hot.
Boy. Tricep makes me. Ooh.
See, what? This movie doesn't get weird.
It's
in this. Damn, it does get weird.
And in just 7 days.
Oh, baby.
I guess if you watch this movie like Drew and I, since we were like 5 and 6, it's not that weird anymore.
Well, I don't think it's actually. It's very normal to me compared to some certain things that we've seen since. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, for the other night we watched on Cinema Bias with me and Alex Mack. I made her watch Blue Velvet. I hadn't seen it in years. I loved it in college. I was like apologizing to her afterwards. I was like, I haven't watched the movie in a long time. I find it like almost unwatchable now. Like I still feel that's important, but like it is almost unwatchable.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time.
It's it doesn't translate to today and like issues around sexuality.
Yeah, not so much with that one.
It's real problematic.
Apparently, my corgis agree with your take.
Hot take.
Hot patootie take.
Hot patootie take. Hot patootie.
What's up with Rocky's walk? He's like shuffling.
It's a Tom walk. What did I tell you, man? That's a Tom walk.
Gong.
The eye rolling on Charles Gray.
He's such a great MC.
Oh my god! Was he in Newsies?
Was he in what?
Newsies? Was he the guy that worked for Hearst
no,
Pulitzer? Who
I believe he was dead already by Newsies.
Okay.
I think. Maybe not.
He passed away in 90, like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
He looks like the guy who was played like Pulitzer or like Hearst, like right hand man who ends up being sympathetic to the Newsies.
Mm.
Maybe not.
Hello, Dipper. Do you say hi? Say hi to the internet.
Charles Gray actually used to be my. I say this just because of ranking, but he was my last ranked Blofeld. But now that's Christoph Waltz.
That's a fair ranking. No offense to Mr. Waltz, of course. I just don't love what they're doing with that character currently.
Actually, I think my last Blofeld would technically be the unnamed Blofeld at the beginning.
That gets thrown down the chimney?
At the beginning of 4 Your Eyes Only. That says, Mr. Bond! I will buy you a delicatessen.
I didn't get the point of why they didn't show his face. That kind of didn't make sense.
Because there was a rights issue.
Because, yeah, they were that whole thing was tied up with Kevin McClory for, like, years. That's why they couldn't use Spectre, and they couldn't use Blofeld until 2015 because it finally got cleared up. And they got the rights back for Spectre and for Blofeld.
What's funny about that too is that in the time frame of that right situation being fixed, he almost remade Thunderball again with Timothy Dalton. And so we were almost going to get a third Timothy Dalton Bond film that was going to be similar to Never Say Never Again.
The original third Timothy Dalton film sounded really good. The original one they had in mind.
Yeah.
Which had to do a lot with like the I can't remember, but it had to do with like the Taiwan or China, whichever one went independent.
Right. It could have been very interesting no matter what. And then, of course, like there was a chance of him being included also. Pre-Pierce Brosnan, which could have been amazing too.
Pierce Brosnan was supposed to be Bond before Timothy Dalton.
But he was making Remington Steel at the time.
Yeah, they literally redid his contract like right before he could sign his Bond papers.
Yeah.
They weren't going to do it at first, and then they were like, oh, someone else is interested in him? You better snag him.
Right, which is very interesting, all things being equal, because it's not... Dalton's my second favorite Bond, probably. And I think he's got the best set of movies because I don't think the quality really shifts between the two. I think they're both really great. And I love that we're talking about Bond in the middle of Rocky Horror. But it's just a weird thing for me to think about.
I need to get on that Bond story.
How many... Are you a Bond fan in any capacity? Like, or...
Nope. And I'm not ashamed to say that because I'm also like, I'm the kind of person that I don't know my own strengths. I keep stuff hidden from myself. So I might get Bond questions right just by nature of osmosis picking stuff up. I put Bond on the wheel once and we got 4 out of 5.
Right.
Because I knew it was Tom's strength. But no, nothing about those movies really appealed to me, except maybe this upcoming one where they got Fleabag to write the script.
Right.
Or help write, yeah.
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
not a huge action movie person. I find them kind of like my eyes glaze over.
You're not the only person in my life that I know feels that way about action movies. So, respect.
So certain kinds of action movies, let me be clear. Certain kinds of action movies, like martial arts, Old Boy, certain kinds of like really cool, like hand-to-hand fighting. That's one thing. But like the big car explosion, that kind of stuff, not so much. So
let me take it. You're not a huge Michael Bay fan.
Actually, I love the Beige Volvo trilogy, The Rock, Face Off, and Con Air. But that's because of Nick Cage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and only one of those is actually directed by Bay. The rest are
You're right. I'm sorry. The Beige Volvo trilogy because they were the other guy was
right. Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
At the time. Con Air is a masterpiece.
I love the weird.
Face Off is a masterpiece. I mean, the John Woo's Face Off is just a cinematic masterpiece.
I don't disagree with that.
And the Rock might be the best one of the three of them, just in terms of pure acting and story.
That's still Bay's best movie to this day, by far.
Yeah.
Which movie?
The Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, God, That movie and that theory that he is that Sean Connery is Bond. That Sean Connery is Bond in that movie.
Yeah, great. And that it would be him post Thunderball, I think, is the way that theory works.
It's a good like such a ratchety girl drinking like Diet 7-Up straight from the bottle. But you know, that's where we are.
Yeah, it's quarantine. No one's gonna.
It's quarantine. I was doing this before quarantine, but who am I trying to impress anymore?
This whole sequence.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You wanted to like this?
Interesting. Matt Whitehurst says Daniel Craig is my second favorite Bond. Dalton is a decent Bond, but Craig is a different Bond than previous. That's the thing, though. I actually think that Daniel Craig's my favorite Bond, but his Bond doesn't exist without Dalton. Dalton is the precursor to what Craig would be. Just my 2 cents on that matter.
Craig's my second favorite. My first is Roger Moore.
I can respect that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can respect it.
I can respect that.
I understand Roger's movies are all wonky and crazy, and I love him for it.
There's some really good stuff in his movies, though. That not to take that away from him. I'm actually surprised we didn't hear any dogs barking.
We do. We hear dogs barking. You just heard
they're both sleeping now. They just not heard.
Oh, we hear a dog.
Yeah. The real life dogs was more what I was talking about.
Yeah, gotcha.
Mine have decided to finally stop fighting, so that's nice. Shout out to Stardrew. The downtime in this movie is weird.
There's not that much though. Thankfully, this movie moves along pretty fast. I'm just kind of out of it, and I'm checking that chick who did the original musical thing on Twitter, like just tweeted back at me, and like now we're like talking about doing a duet thing. So like I just got real distracted for a moment.
No, I get it.
This is the only down point. Yeah, this is the only downtime because
smoking the cigarette just makes me laugh. By the way,
it takes like 2 seconds though. Like in terms of musicals, which usually for this point, unless they were like rock operas, they were huge lags. This is the only one, and it's like a very short period of time. This moves along pretty.
Well, it's not a very long movie though either. Just kind of.
Yeah, that's what's great about it.
Which is hard because, you know, what as we just did our top 15 Broadway musicals list on here.
Oh my God.
A lot of those shows are, you know, 2.5, 3, 4 hours, depending on the show. And against that, like, even as a movie, the lag can feel so strange.
Well, I think it's because a lot of musical, like when you think about like a lot of musicals on Broadway have dialogue in between. Not all of them. And like a lot of good ones now are rock operas, so there is no, you know, like Hamilton that's everything. That's everything you're going to get is on the soundtrack. But most things, there's padding.
Right.
Into the Woods was a weird movie adaptation because like they added a lot of, like that movie's basically, or that show is basically a rock opera in the sense that there's no talking, but they kept adding in talking parts.
Right.
It's weird.
It was weird. I noticed that too while I was watching it. I mean, I always considered Into the Woods a little bit unfilmable anyway. So, like, I mean, shout out to them for trying. But
shout out to my friend Billy Magnuson for killing it as one of the princes, as Rapunzel's prince.
Yes. Also,
he was in Game Night, right?
Yeah, he was the best in Date Night. It was his birthday 2 days ago.
Oh, Game Night. Wasn't he in Game Night?
Game Night. Never kiss before.
Shout out to Robert from Late Party, who says, I still haven't seen this movie all the way through in one
sitting. There's no use getting.
Well, Robert,
Yep. It's all over. That's what we're doing.
And seat wetting. I did not understand why she was peeing herself.
I think she's seat wetting.
All right, Chris, here you go.
I've watched you out, and I want more. I want up no resistance. I want to stay the distance. Yeah, do you think they got rights from Disney?
I don't know.
I
mean, not that it matters now because Disney literally owns it. You know,
let's get Frankenfurter as a Disney princess.
That, as it should be.
I didn't understand anything in the song when they were like, so she never, and they went, no. I was like, what? She's going to go pee in. What if anything grows? I was like, what the hell are they talking about? It grows. I'll throw you up and wrap you down.
And
That's just one small fraction of the main attraction. I need a friendly hand, and I need action. Touch me. I wanna be dirty. Thrill me, show me, fulfill me. Creature of the night.
Creature of the night.
This is like my quarantine song. I just realized this is my quarantine go-to song as of right now.
Chris, what is the best song from this movie to learn on guitar?
Maybe like one of the Rose, maybe like one of the floor show songs, maybe. I don't know.
For the
It's got
guitar,
like a guitar riff in it, doesn't it?
well,
Night.
the only thing,
Creature of the night. Creature of the night.
Creature of the night.
You just got banged by a bunch of aliens.
we've only got experience playing 3 songs from Rocky. I think the best for guitar though, probably "Roast It in My World," the medley.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, the riff at the beginning is great. Yeah.
Now I just got "Roast in My World" in my head.
Yeah. "Roast in My World," Wild and Untamed Thing.
I love it.
Good. I love that, yeah.
Dr. Scott.
Dr. Scott. In the Broadway version and in the original version, Meatloaf played Dr. Scott and Eddie.
That's a good double. I like that. I like that the same way I like, the Peter Pan Mr. Darling thing.
Yeah, he was originally supposed to be Dr. Scott, but Bat Out of Hell happened. And they had to
my favorite moment with Dr. Scott is in this movie is when they're doing the floor show and he comes by with the wheelchair and his legs and he's just like,
yes, yeah. I have a story about that. If you listen to Meat's interviews about it, when they did the Broadway show, he would do that. He would do that with full regalia and fishnets. Yeah, and he said he never saw an audience laugh as hard as they did when he did that.
I've always loved that. It just always cracked me up, that whole little bit.
Imagine if that was in the movie.
Star Drew's asking, what movie did Susan Sarandon have more sexual feelings in, Rocky Horror or Bull Durham?
Rocky Horror, because I think the feelings were a lot more
overt.
Like they're also more like perverts or deviant or whatever you want to say. It takes a lot more for her to get there, right? Yeah. To go from that character, from being from Janet to being the person who's this character.
Yeah.
My views. My views.
Tim, your sister's roasting Robert in the chat for not seeing the film.
Yeah, she'll roast Robert
all the way through.
Remember, guys, in the chat.
Body. Robert's gonna go down to Marty.
When
we do the office.
Remember, guys, in the chat, whoever's the most active tonight, you get a Rocky Horror poster I'll choose at the end of the show. And tomorrow, make sure to watch Suddenly Soundtracks with Bibbs and Whitney.
I think that's gonna be Movie Fenobi or Heather.
Yeah, they've been super active all night.
The fact of that movie, Movie Fenobi name checked for crying out loud.
Yeah.
They've already made Chris's list.
These people are so awesome. Do you know Movie Fenobi got a tattoo from my sister?
No, what?
He got it from my sister at her tattoo parlor when he came to New York for the show, and he originally wanted to get a Video Drew tattoo, and my sister was straight up like, no. And I was like, Hannah, come on, that's awesome. And I was like, I want to get a Video Drew tattoo now, and she was like, no. And I was like, well, I'll just go to another tattoo artist, Hannah. No biggie. But he ended up getting a great tattoo for my little sister, and we love him for that.
That's incredible.
He's a true person.
Yeah, Bat Out of Hell is a great album, Matt. Along with Back in Black, Black Ice. Oh, I thought you said Black Ice. I've never heard AC/DC's Black Ice.
That was their last album.
Oh, okay. That's 12. Yeah. Back in Black, Bat Out of Hell, Thriller, and Eagles' Greatest Hits are the 4 best-selling albums of all time.
Back in Black might be the single-handed greatest rock album ever produced. Especially considering where they were literally like a year before.
Mm-hmm. That, or I would say Goodbye Yellow Brick Road too.
You're not wrong. The only reason I say that is just because they got dealt such a massive blow with Bon Scott passing away and like them coming back.
The comeback with
Brian Johnson.
With Brian Johnson.
AC/DC is still like maybe my top favorite hard rock band of all time.
I love Stiff Upper Lip. That album is.
That was like the last album I listened to like heavily. That was a good album. My favorite AC/DC album isn't even Black and Black though. It's Highway to Hell.
I mean that's the album pre Back in Black that I'm talking about. Like the rise is ridiculous.
That is that's the sculpture that that Viking B Heather made.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Oh my god, it's art.
I love this sequence. This sequence is still hilarious to me.
When they're eating Eddie.
Yeah.
Came here to discuss Eddie. What tender subject?
Well, and it reminds me of, some of the older Midnight B movies and stuff like that. Like, it's got a real Vincent Price feel to it. It's just really perfectly encapsulated in this moment to me.
It's just funny that they don't smell the rotting corpse that's underneath the tablecloth.
It's got a Texas.
It's been a weird night, guys.
It's got a Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
They have the dinner scene with the family in that movie.
Yes. By the way, guys, Robert, we did give Ronan your love afterwards.
Oh, Matt's right. There is Rocker Bust was their last album. I forgot about Rocker Bust altogether because Black Ice is the last time I really listened to one of their albums fully all the way through. Like, I saw the Black Ice tour, actually. That was the one chance I got to see AC/DC live. So,
was the tour called AC/DC on Ice?
Unfortunately, no.
That would have been freaking. That was a missed
Imagine Malcolm
opportunity.
Gunn dancing around in the skates, like doing his.
No, but just to call it on Ice would have been great.
Didn't Phil Rudd try to put his wife on ice? Oh,
it's called Black Ice because of the Black Ice that you.
Didn't one of them try to? Was it Phil Rudd, the drummer, tried to have his wife murdered?
Apparently, yeah, that's what I heard.
One of them tried to have his wife knocked out.
One of them tried to get Robert Blake that situation.
Yes, essentially.
The thing that hard rock bands do, because the lead singer for As I Lay Dying tried to do it too.
What the singer from As I Lay Dying tried to kill his wife, have his wife murdered?
Yeah, he was in prison for 6 years. He's out now, and they're recording again. But he,
what a rock story! I went to prison for trying to kill my wife. Now I'm out of prison and re-recording.
Him Lambesis, yeah,
it's pretty rock and roll.
He tried to have someone murder his wife. He was. Blames a lot of it on his like.
Guys, we did come up with the best name for Tom Dagnito. Like the new Finstock name is going to be Tom Exotic.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
I mean, it's not a bad name. It's very fitting.
I love it. Yeah. I just didn't like Tiger King.
I haven't actually watched Tiger King yet.
We were going to do a watch along of it, but the hype is gone. So.
I just didn't like.
I think there's new episodes released. I think there'd still be hype for like the second wave of it.
I just didn't like the treatment of all the animals ultimately, and that's what like upset me the most in the movie. And then I watched the special that they did, and then it just made me even more mad because then you learn even more about like what Joe did, and it's god awful.
Yeah, he faked cancer. But back to Rocky Horror.
Yeah, because we're about to get to Eddie's Teddy.
I love this song. I don't know why I fucking love this song.
I think
it's like top 3.
Trouble.
That's trouble.
He was the thorn.
He was deformed.
In his mother's
side.
Mother's side. On his mother's side or in his mother's side?
In his mother's side. In vain. But he never caused her
nothing.
Just the cutaway to Clark Gray.
I'm like a minute behind you guys.
Yeah, if you look at
home the day that's where I am. Am I ahead of both?
From the day he was gone.
If you look at the books, it's Meatloaf and Dragon. Those pictures.
Yeah, like
rock and roll porn.
I mean, like the Whistler. It's like a Whistler.
Snipe.
Whatever, I think, right?
I just think that is so funny.
He was a low
down little punk.
Taking everyone for a ride.
Eddie said he
didn't like
didn't you. He was a no good kid. But
he threatened my life with a switchblade. And now, dude.
Everybody shot him.
I very nearly loved him. Say, listen to me. Stay sane inside insanity.
Our poor audience.
But he must have been drawn
Into
some sink.
Oh, that's Merc.
making him
Him
more.
war.
Me
Me in
and
no
me.
I love this note. Look, it's like Charlie.
Out of my head.
Oh, hurry.
Hurry, or maybe dead.
They
Must
Mustn't carry out their evil deed. Wow!
When and he said he didn't like a Teddy.
This is great.
Yeah. Now we're cooking.
We're not going to pick the same key, nor are we going to pick the same beat. Like, one of us is clearly a second ahead or behind.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's bad.
With the switchblade knife.
What a god!
Makes you cry.
Where am I? I already said it early on. I don't want to sing because I don't want to destroy the rest of the what's already clearly a love fest to this movie, and I will destroy everyone's ears.
I think that's already happening. We're all
I
different
already
time
listened to this
pitches.
whole soundtrack
Would-
today
would-
in preparation for this. And belted it out.
Just got done.
This is a great commentary, right, guys?
That was like there's some bacon in there. I saw some bacon.
Yeah.
I do like bacon.
That is very Hannibal, like Hannibal the TV show.
That show is so good.
That show's like one of my favorite shows. My wedding, I told you this, my wedding theme was Hannibal.
Yeah.
Like we did like a whole, oh, it was beautiful.
I tell you once, I tell you twice.
This is a very forgettable song.
Oh, I like this one. I like this one because it's supposed to
I
play.
enjoy it still, but it's
It's like the hot dog and mustard line.
That's the part I like the most.
Nice up. Janet Weiss. The way he says her last name in this movie, it seems like it's a Jew thing.
It really does.
He makes it seem anti-Semitic. I don't know why I think that, but it just feels that way.
And I like how he refers to her vagina as an apple pie.
You could probably play the little like riff they're doing in this song.
You could, yeah.
You're as essential as a pencil is definitely what I'm going to tell my next fucking heel opponents.
My wheels. My God, I can't move my wheels.
Watch Along sponsored by Oscar Mayer.
If only the watch along was sponsored by Fright Rags.
Remember, guys, be active in the chat for the Rocky Horror poster, and tomorrow, Rocky Horror Suddenly Soundtracks with Whitney and Bibbs premieres live, 10 p.m.
Also, I don't know if anyone noticed that literally 3 of us here are wearing They Live shirts during the
Yeah,
Rocky
guys,
Horror.
like, oh yeah, let me take a picture of that. I like to do like my nightly. Mom, I still technically work. I just don't get paid for it. my mom was like, really? What's going on? What's going on with you? And I was like, actually, I made some money this month, like between streams and stuff. And she's like, oh, really? Really? And I was like, yeah, I did, Mom.
I was wearing They Live socks.
To prove that I did something every day.
I like that. But like, look at us.
As opposed to every other night in the past 2 years where I've been doing nothing and have like had no job. So I'm doing successful.
We're having a great time doing this. Come on, I mean.
If this was a job, which it could be one day.
Hey, maybe we make this a job. I don't know. That'd be amazing.
I'm like, that's why I video drew for the writers' room, man.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Here it comes right here. Don't
get hot. Everyone show the shirt.
Show your shirt, Tim.
Use
a bit of mustard.
You're hot dog. You better not try to.
Oh, they're on a totally different thing. I'm ahead.
There's a lot happening at one time right now.
A butt dog, but you'd better not try to hurt her. Frank Furter.
Hot dog. So am I a second before or after you? Because that's gonna bug me. I can like make it a second ahead or a second behind. Do you guys know?
No clue.
Guess I can't tell.
I'm really not sure, and I think that's what's made this so entertaining is the different sides of where everyone's actually at.
If we were all in the same sync, we would be a chorus of.
No, we're like, but it's just 1 second off, and that's what's driving me nuts.
I know. I don't think there's any way of doing it because of the delay for chat. I think we all.
No, but like what's happening right now?
Ready. He's looking at Magenta or Columbia.
Yeah.
Switch. There she is. She's fast.
Yeah.
We're about to get to the floor show.
Oh, floor show's best.
Straight up Medusa.
Smiling makes my face.
There's a statue of David in the background. So was David actually there?
That's what that is implying.
Of course, that's Michelangelo's David.
You know what's weird is this could technically be a prequel to Dark City.
This could be.
That could be the planet that Richard O'Brien was coming from.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Right?
That is a great point.
I think I'm going to watch Dark City this weekend.
I love Dark City. I love Dark City. We found out yesterday that Dark City was supposed to have a different ending. Was that yesterday? I can't remember. Every day is the same day, but I feel like yesterday we found out Dark City was supposed to have a different ending.
Yeah, every day it does seem like the same.
Like
day.
I'm guessing.
An ending in which what's his name? That guy turned out from Knight's Tale turned out to be the bad guy because they finds out that he was programmed to be the serial killer and he kills Jennifer Connelly.
Right.
Or was that on our thing? I forget when we talked about it.
I don't know.
No, we're talking about Ethan Irwin. Never mind. That was on Monday. Man, days blur together.
I mean, it's all the same at this point with the quarantine.
Welcome to my life. My life.
I feel like Richard O'Brien would have been a good mid-level Bond henchman.
Yes.
Yeah, he would have.
100%. Especially in the Roger Moore era, he would have so perfectly fit that.
Imagine if he was the henchman for Charles Gray's Blofeld.
That was Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd, and they're great.
Yeah, I know.
You know who was supposed to play Mr. Wint originally? He came
Paul Williams.
Paul Williams.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
But so they got Bruce Glover, and that's great too, though.
Can we do Family Paradise one night? Because Beef is my very first tattoo was Phoenix, and I have a Phoenix tattoo for Phoenix.
If you went on Phantom of the Paradise, you got it.
What?
I have Phantom of the Paradise planned. Yeah.
Oh my God, really? Because that was my first tattoo. I have Paul Williams responding to my tweets and stuff. I bet I could get him to tweet us out or something.
Yeah,
I bet I could.
Yeah, totally. We'll work that out. Phantom of the Paradise exclusive right here. Yeah, it's coming soon.
Oh my God!
It's my third favorite musical of all time after Rocky Horror and Little Shop. Yeah.
Oh, I love you for that. I really do love you for that. I mean, that's really consistent. I mean, it's still Sweeney for me, but this exists in the same glam rock opera and the music.
I didn't nominate that because it's not a stage musical. But yeah.
Well, that's what I was asking, the stage musical aspect. Right. That's why I was asking about all that jazz and the Buffy musical and.
Phantom would make a great stage musical, but
oh my God, great! Except that it was so panned. It was it was so panned. It'd probably be his most panned movie if he hadn't tried to make Bonfire of the Vanities.
The way he sticks his tongue out as he's walking by just makes me laugh every time. Guys, we don't deserve Tim Curry. I just want to throw that out.
We never did, and we never shall have him again.
Although
we might, if we get I feel like the new class of kids
began
one that British Stranger Things kid might turn out to be one. I feel like one of the Stranger Kids will turn weird.
Yeah.
It will never be a Tim Curry again because the ideas of gender and what Tim Curry will never.
What is your favorite Tim Curry performance? If we're talking about that.
Okay, straight up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably say. Oh God, I want to say Clue and Pennywise. But give me a second.
Whatever's yours.
It might be Clue. His timing in that is amazing. Let me Google this real quick.
Somebody should be.
Legend was great.
My libido hasn't been controlled.
Mine is the hot take. Mine is Home Alone 2.
Mine is
Camelot.
Oh, yours is a hot take. Mine's a hotter take.
I like Treasure Planet, not Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if Robert is still in the chat. Robert, he might be able to guess my favorite Jim Carrey performance.
Is it Charlie's Angels 2?
Nope. He's not in Charlie's Angels 2. I think he's in the first one.
Yeah.
I was in the first one.
What was your
favorite Jim Curry performance? Is as Hector Homolka in Congo.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. That's a good one.
Yes. Congo.
Push me, please.
That could be a good one for April.
I love Congo. I love that movie. It's so good.
Bruce Campbell's got a cameo at the beginning of that movie.
Yep. Yeah. And so does what's his name? I can't remember his name. He was in Winter's Bone. He's a character actor. Mm-hmm. He was nominated for an Oscar.
We need more Bruce Campbell in the world too.
The game has been
decided.
My mind has been expanded.
It's a guess at Frankie's land tag.
Is lost.
Yeah, well, I'm looking through his filmography. There's not as many as I thought because it's a lot of voice acting. But I would definitely probably Clue.
His performance though in Congo is great.
Congo is great, but I'm just saying in terms of like sheer like I don't know what he did in Clue was so
the city of
it was so silly and so different kind of comedy. It was a physical comedy, but very rat-a-tat, like British upstairs, downstairs. It was great. Everything about that movie is perfect.
Clue is perfect.
I put on my top 5 perfect movies, and then somebody made a list that was basically one of the people I tagged in these Twitter perfect movie things. Actually picked all 5 of the ones I should have picked. Like he was like being John Malkovich, Videodrome. He picked everything I should have picked.
You know that Roka's not a fan of Clue.
Right? Oh yeah. Oh, we talked about how much he did hate Clue. He said it was too waspy, and I said, "Dude, we just spent like an hour and a half talking about how Company was so great, and you're gonna tell me that like Clue is waspy?"
Yeah.
Give yourself.
All right.
Absolute pleasure. I think what he means is like British or something. I don't know because Roka loves musicals.
Like, he does.
So I don't think he's like pretentious in a way of he doesn't like theater or anti. I don't think he's anti.
Oh, definitely not. I just like giving him a hard time.
I just think it's weird that it called waspy. It's
obscene.
That Whitehurst. Don't started with Bruce Campbell. I love scrolling Burn Notice. Yeah, Burn Notice.
I met Bruce Campbell. He did a photo shoot with a tomahawk that I had that we set up. Vinny interviewed him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My dad and I met him years back when he did back on Sci-Fi Channel. No, he did this movie called The Man with the Screaming Brain. Yeah, and he directed it. It's a Sci-Fi Channel movie, and he toured it in the same way that Kevin Smith kind of does now. And my dad and I met him outside the theater after the movie, like by total random happenstance while we were leaving.
That's awesome.
It was amazing.
This is the message of the movie. Don't dream it, be it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
This whole ending is just so like bizarre in the best way.
Don't dream.
Yeah, it has a kind of Game of Thrones like third act twist where they're like, not just because of brother sister sex, but they were like, whoops, now we're taking over.
Frankenfurter, it's all over.
La méchante. Yeah.
So, D Medusa. These underwater sequences are better than the ones in Thunderball.
I don't like Thunderball.
That's why I said
I don't like Thunderball either. It's my least favorite James Bond movie.
Yeah, it's my least favorite one.
It's boring.
Overall, I enjoy the film, but I hardly ever watch it.
I prefer the Christopher Walken View to a Kill to it.
Oh, View to Kill is one of my favorites. I love that fucking movie. So good. Heyday is one of the best henchmen.
Here it comes. Look at that. Look at that guy in the
But better when he's dancing. It's beyond me. Help me, mommy. My. Here it goes. I'm a bee with a deadly sting.
I go sing.
What will
I go sing.
the party
Don't go on.
Take a good
This is great. Boom, 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 boom,
Bam,
boom,
bam,
boom.
bam.
Same thing. And a beast from the deadly sting.
Here it comes. Haha, yeah.
But we'll see.
All right, here we go. This is it.
Drew, your sister is in the chat coming to say hello to you.
What? My sister?
Yeah.
Two sister appearances in the chat tonight.
That is 2 sister appearances in the chat.
Great.
Hi, Hannah. Oh my God. How are you? Do you remember watching this as a kid, Hannah?
We totally talked about you earlier, by the way, Hannah, and you not giving tattoos.
She's a tattoo artist.
It's
She's
all
the one who did this. She did this tattoo. Movies.
failure. You're
She
like
did movie Nobis.
extreme.
I'm your new commander.
You now are
my prisoner. We returned. That's his look right here. Right now is the vulnerable. Like it's so hot. Like what coup did they just fucking pull on this? Under like whose authority? What is this?
At least frankly.
For once in a space movie, I want to ask, where's the Trade Federation in all this?
Wow, we're going George Lucas Trade Federation.
I'm just saying, like, I usually hate in space movies when they're like, and then they just try to explain the space politics. Like, that's my least favorite trope is like, gotta bring this to space governor.
I will make it legal.
Yeah, I hate space politics, just like regular politics. Hannah, what's your Rocky Horror tattoo?
Let's just show some respect to "I'm Going Home" because the song is also good.
Yeah, this song is really great.
It's phenomenal. I consider this part of the floor show. Just because
and I'm glad you did because I couldn't have.
It is part of the floor show. They're on a floor. Hannah, you should have been here last weekend where we spent all this time talking about musicals and stuff, and I feel like I talked about you a lot.
I consider "I'm Going Home" the finale of the floor show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It did change my answer though because I would have.
But you see what I mean? I feel like the whole sequence goes together. Yeah,
it does, but it made me change. Like I couldn't pick this song as one of my favorites because you had it wrapped in. Give your scene. Although I still might want to change it to floor show.
Blue skies.
I went ahead and put the link in the chat for the Broadway musical one if Hannah decides she wants to see.
Oh my God, with Raul Esparza. Wasn't Raul Esparza he was in a Broadway version. He played Riff Raff. Chilton from Hannibal. We all know. No, who am I talking to? You guys all know who Raul Esparza is. You guys all know I watched Meat of Salmon once, like a whole fillet just down the gullet.
Yep.
I will admit that "I'm Going Home" is probably the least played song for me. I don't know as much as the rest of them.
Hannah, we spent 3 hours doing a musical.
I just freaking love the way the spotlight's on Frankenfurter like that. I think it's such a great shot.
Try to find a game.
I wonder how much of this paved the way for Hedwig. Quite honestly,
that's a really great question.
It did because the Hedwig was inspired by this, and actually on the cast record, in 2003, they had Meatloaf sing "Tear Me Down" and alternated.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
You're banned for the win, just figuring stuff out.
Yep.
Not so good at facts or trivia, but real good at taking a gander at some suppositions.
Meatloaf's version of "Tear Me Down" is great.
God, Tim Curry. I would have done all the things to meet him. He's probably younger than I am right now in this movie, is what I'm realizing.
Okay, might be.
I'm going.
I had that realization earlier when I was watching Back to the Future that Michael J. Fox is younger in that movie than in.
This is a callback to earlier conversation about like where we remember Tim Curry from, and also Tim Curry's best performances. I forgot about his role as Darkness in Legend. Yeah,
that's it. I put Legend up there, but I don't think it beats Clue or It. I think Pennywise is kind of like a great like Freddy Krueger like villain in that he's both scary, but he's also got a sense of like he's kind of like a puckish villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like got a sense of humor. Like I don't know. Whenever like a super scary character is also like breaks the fourth wall and it's funny, I get turned on. It's like a Beetlejuice thing.
Tim Curry as the criminologist in the remake though was not. Did you guys see?
I forgot about. I didn't like it. I thought it was like offensive. Not offensive.
It was offensive. It was offensive a little bit.
But like, if he decided to be in it, it can't be offensive, right? Like he made the decision.
I know,
which movie are we talking about?
In the remake. In the remake of Rocky Horror, Tim is the criminologist.
Oh, so he's in a wheelchair, and he can't really talk either because the stroke has like made it really hard for him to speak.
That's what I'm interested about with the Psych sequel. Now that Timothy Omison's is like a major part of it because he had a stroke a few years ago too.
The world is going to be a darker place without Tim Curry.
I'm so glad you're still around though. Just like straight up. One time Vinny ran into him by accidentally stepping or like I don't know why my story's about Vinny tonight, but he was at Comic-Con and he had his foot run over by Tim Curry's chair.
That's amazing.
He was like, "Ow," and then he looked up and he was like, "I am so honored."
I love Vinny. I wish Vinny was here. I'm trying to get Vinny for Killer Clowns.
Oh my god, you don't understand that like Vinny was molded by me. Like I found Vinny at 19, 20. He was like monosyllabic. He'd never talk out loud. He wrote really funny, but like you would have a hard time knowing that unless you pointed in the right direction. Vinny was molded by having to be like deal with me as an editor for many years. Like he was my right-hand man as I started like a TV vertical for The Observer and then became like the youngest deputy editor at the newspaper ever. Like,
yeah, I freaking love that dude.
I for a long time, people didn't think there was a Vinny. They thought I was just writing under a different pen name, and they refused to believe that Vinny was real.
That's such a wonderful story.
Yeah, Chris, I know you gotta love the King Kong sitting up here.
Yes, the King Kong themes of this finale and at the beginning with science fiction are great, and the whole RKO kind of aesthetic with the classic movies.
Hannah, I love that my sister's here. Why is she even here? How'd she even know? Oh yeah, Matt. Hey Matt, I love that song too. Where it's like skies beneath me, skies up above, something. Yeah, egglomation, like egg chumming. Toxic love.
Yeah, Toxic Love is great.
Fern Gully would be a great suddenly soundtrack.
Fern Gully. My sister dressed as Fern Gully, the chick from Fern Gully.
Here's Betty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that from Williams.
Pat, have you ever seen Shock Treatment?
Oh yeah, I owned it for a long time. I don't think I have my DVD of it anymore. I think it got lost in one of the moves.
Yeah, apparently according to Bibbs, it's his favorite musical of all time.
That sounds accurate.
I love the soundtrack. Hannah says, "Let me tattoo that radio tower on you, Drew."
Oh yeah. They never liked me.
They never liked me. That's that classic Fredo syndrome right there.
So Riff Raff was never a hunchback.
I'm smart, Michael. I'm smart.
Oh, I don't think it's on anyone's authority that they're doing this. I think this is a takeover. This is like a coup.
Yeah, they're
definitely.
They're like, I'm done with this planet. I'm over it. I want to go back home.
They could have just left without him.
Why was Frankensteiner even in charge in the first place? Do you think they were kind of like rogues from their own planet? They were just the misfits who ran away from their own planet?
So they're basically the Doctor from Doctor Who.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe they're not, maybe it wasn't like that. Maybe they were just like outcasts of their Transylvania planet and they decided to try to like make an outpost like how Americans ended up in America.
Right.
You know, now they're like, we're going back to Britain.
Tim Curry would have been a great Doctor.
Oh my God, Tim Curry would have been a great Master.
Yeah, he would have been a much better Master than Doctor.
But That would have been great.
I think, and here's my hot take: a lot of Tim Curry roles could be done by Tennant.
I don't disagree with that, actually.
Tennant could have been a good Frankenfurter.
Tennant would have been a great Frankenfurter. Tennant would make a great Clue, like he would make a great Wadsworth.
Mm-hmm.
I love recasting. I love stunt recasting. It's my favorite thing in the world.
I love Doctor Who so much, and I just really hate that I haven't enjoyed the last couple of seasons because I think the writing's just been so bad.
I never got past. I know I'm bad about it. I never got past like the second half of the Tennant season, but that's because like being this guy. Wait, Hannah's saying she wants to tattoo that radio tower on me. Where, Hannah? I don't want the RCO. No, because it's the RCO radio tower. People are gonna just think I'm doing RCO. Like it's a reference to another thing. But if we can find something else.
I like how Richard O'Brien's gun is the pitchfork, and he was carrying the pitchfork at the beginning.
You're right. That trident's a pitchfork.
Holy shit!
How very Wizard of Oz.
My mind was just blown. I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah.
Anna, come to LA and come live in this garage with me.
Was that on purpose? God, that might have been on purpose.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on purpose. Yeah. Again, it's very Wizard of Oz-esque.
God, I wish Wild at Heart was streaming anywhere. You know, it's impossible to get Wild at Heart. Like,
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I think that's my favorite Lynch movie. Now, I think that if Fire Walk with Me and Wild at Heart are my two favorite Lynch movies. After having watched Blue Velvet and rethought my whole fucking life, had to rethink my life strategy.
Yeah.
Now, this is
I do like Scanners a lot.
Our versions have superheroes in it, right?
No. I don't think mine does. No.
Mine doesn't right now either, no.
Because now it's the Charles Gray line, which is like...
Oh, okay.
Because I was going to assume that most people probably didn't have that, so I made sure.
Yeah.
Called The Human Race. Lost in Time.
Lost in Time.
Lost in Space.
Are you saying it before, or are you just saying it at the time he's saying it, and I'm a second behind now?
Saying it like a little bit before.
Okay, good. So I think we are synced up. We did it! We
did it.
That's it.
Galfrey, what do you think? We did it. We watched the movie. Come here.
Did you know? Wait, Hannah, did you not see that? What movie Fanobi? Viking bitch? Movie Fanobi's girlfriend Heather made me. She made me a video, Drew. It's a sculpture.
What do you think of that?
It has a beating heart. It's got Hannah.
Feature.
Teeth. And it's made out of teeth.
Frank has built and lost his creature.
It's just so good, you guys. Like this movie still holds up in the best way.
It's a great rock horror musical.
Now the hard part is going to be trying to talk about what my three favorite songs are.
Yeah, this is the part.
I've been dreading.
All right, guys, we are.
Wait! I think they're actually telling you something about what happened in the post credits. They're saying darkness has conquered Brad and Janet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah, it's not cursed. It has teeth. Now, if our teeth go missing, we have more teeth. At the late night, double feature. What I really love about this sculpture too, and like I'm not like this is mine, no one can have it. But like is the fact that like the artist's statement about it is that like it has a little battery pack, so the light goes on, and you can replace the batteries, or you can just let the light run out naturally, like somebody's like natural light cycle, like and can just stand as like a sculpture. I like that. I like that art statement.
All right.
This is so hard.
We made it.
All right, guys. Movie is finished, but we are now going to go into our top 3 favorite Rocky Horror songs and our bottom 3 favorite Rocky Horror songs. Drew,
I gotta do a thing after that. I gotta go finish an article.
Yep. So what are your top 3 and bottom 3, Drew?
Oh, I have to stop the movie. I was like, why is this movie still going? Top 3. Can I change my answers from what I think I gave you?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know why I'm screaming. I'm going to pick Eddie's Teddy. I don't know why. That song just really speaks to me. I'm going to pick Damn It, Janet. And I'm going to pick The Floor Show.
Shit. Okay, cool. And what are your bottom?
Okay, sorry. Let me move Eddie Steady off the first one because I need to get there's a light on there. So there's a light over at Frankenstein's place, Damn It, Janet, and the floor show. First two, last one. The middle ones don't do it for me. Sort of Damocles. You can miss me on that. I'd say that whole you're a hot dog, Janet, or whatever he calls her, like mustard ketchup one. And yeah, and I think that I'm not the. I almost want to put Time Warp on the bottom, but I think that's sacrilegious. Just because like it is like the hokey pokey, like, and it is like this weird thing where I'm just like it's so dorky. But I get that it's like iconic and it's cool and it's being something bigger than itself. I just don't like line dancing, so I'm gonna go with umlaut. Let's say I forgot about Sweet Transvestite. Darn it. Okay, let's put Teddy on the bottom instead of the top.
Wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, because it's too short.
Favorite to the bottom.
Yeah, move it to the bottom. There's not that many songs, and it's not like I'm gonna put Sweet Transvestite. That's one still vying for top in my mind. So, yeah, so I'm changing it all around. Sweet Transvestite. It's gonna Sweet Transvestite. There's a light. Final floor show.
There we go.
And the bottom is
Eddie's Teddy. That song about the hot dog, hot dog mustard, whatever. And then
Sword of Damocles.
Sword of Damocles. Yeah.
All right. Tim.
Top three would be the floor show, the entire thing, going to I'm Going Home. And then we got Sweet Transvestite. And then Damn It, Janet.
Yeah.
Sweet
Transvestite is a very good like Disney villain opening song, I realized. Okay. I mean, like not a villain song, but like the way Be Prepared is a great song.
Be Prepared, like
Mine from Pocahontas.
Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Oh my God, those are my maybe 3 favorite Disney songs, which should tell you a little bit about me. But specifically that Mine song, I really love. I'm like, big boys.
Everybody overlooks it. Everybody overlooks it, but it's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Also, Christian Bale's in that movie. Got great collarbones.
My bottom 3, starting with like the one I like the least, would be Planet, Schmanet, Janet, Hot Dog, Sword of Damocles, and then Over at the Frankenstein Place.
Yeah. Wow, really?
I still enjoy all those songs, but
I think it's because I sing in her range for that song, and that song specifically, something is in my range that I can sing high enough. I don't know.
That works. And I think for that song, I just tend to like the part I like the most is the Richard O'Brien part, and it's just a small portion of the song. So
the darkness, my spine.
That's my list.
Cool, Pat, go for it.
God, this is so freaking hard. My number 1 is probably Damn It, Janet. I just really love that song. Of course, the floor show has to be there. And yeah, I think I'll go with Sweet Transvestite as the top 3, making it a pretty clean sweep. The hot dog song must go. That definitely belongs in the bottom 3. Over at the Frankenstein Place and Sword of Damocles. Like, I like all the music, similar to kind of what Tim was saying. But I mean, if we're talking the stuff that I'm going to listen to, those 3 are at the bottom.
Can I change my answer one more time? I forgot about Touch Me.
Go for it.
Okay, so we're gonna take out Damn It, Janet, and replace it with Touch Me.
Oh.
Yeah. So the favorites are Touch Me, Over at the Frankenstein Place, and the floor show. Does that seem right? Video Drew, what do you think?
Didn't you have Sweet Transvestite in there too at one point?
What?
What about Sweet Transvestite? You had that in there too at one point.
Oh, God damn it. Is this my final answer? Okay, I'm writing something down. I'm writing something down on the board, and it's going to be my final answer.
Video Drew's doing a top 10.
Guys, I'm just filibustering.
This is going to become the 3-hour Rocky Horror podcast.
I challenge in the categorical sense.
The movie ended, but they still talked for about 4 hours.
Welcome to being with me with doing anything. I went straight from that podcast or the Twitch stream with the Schmodown to doing my own Twitch stream because I thought I could capitalize on some viewers, but I didn't have anything to talk about, so I ended up just reading from my Nextdoor app because I find it really funny that people get so miffed about someone taking the box of free lemons that they're putting out for free, on doorsteps. People take the boxes. And then other people get mad about that. It's hilarious. Anyway, I riffed on that for an hour and wasted my day. basically I can't not talk on the internet now forever. Sweet transvestite. Sorry. Transvestite.
On stream.
Oh no.
You two ridiculous.
Let's see. There's a light. Touch me. Okay. Got it. There's the final answer.
All right. There you go.
There's
All
the
right.
answer.
Bada bing, bada bing.
I can put it on the whiteboard actually if you need it.
For my top 3 and my bottom 3, I am not going to tell you guys because you guys are going to have to watch Suddenly
Oh,
soundtracks.
you son of a bitch.
Yes.
Suddenly
I mean, we already know what is number one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Can I ask you something? Would you guys be down, like, if I hosted a Twitch Sings thing? I have not tried to use that service yet, but
We should.
yeah, and like, would you guys be down for it for like a musical night?
We should.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. I got that affiliate status, yo. I can like do whatever I want on there.
Let's do it. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
And we're not going to be out of sync with the music.
No, I don't know how it works exactly, but I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Movie Finobi, we definitely did get the Streamlab. Thank you again for doing that. We really, really appreciate it.
We love you so much, Movie
We love
Finobi
you.
and Heather.
Yeah.
I think maybe they won the poster, like just TBH, like Loki.
Oh damn, dogfight.
Oh, I will announce the poster winner after
Good call.
tomorrow's episode airs. So I will announce both winners tomorrow night.
Can I do a quick
premiere.
plug? Can I do a quick plug before
Go
I forget? We do on Mondays and Thursdays. We do Tuesdays. Drew, come on, get your brain straight. Mondays and Thursdays, we do the Video Chronic pop culture quiz, and tomorrow we have a banger, but it starts pretty late. It's going to be a 10 p.m. quiz, 10 p.m. PT, but it's going to be the entirety of The Office, and it's going to be the late from the party, Robert and Vanessa. It's going to be the Bandit Hamburglar, and it's going to be me. And it's going to be epic. And it's going to be like 30 questions. I haven't been allowed to be in the room when they're being written. Next week, we have The Matrix Reloaded with Roka and Ace and Vinny again. Wow. We've got, and people are like asking us left and right. Bibiani just asked if he could be in one. Like, so people are just like giving us suggestions. Then on Tuesdays, I do Cinema Bias with Alex Mack. I made her watch Blue Velvet. She'll never forgive me. And I have this thing now where I can stream TV on Twitch and you guys can watch it with me. I have to figure out what I'm doing with that. And I have a show with Roka on Fridays.
Oh, cool. And where can the good people find you online, Drew?
Just everything /Video Drew. Like, honestly, like patreon.com/Video Drew, Twitter, Video Drew, Instagram, Video Drew, streamlabs.com /Video Drew. It's pretty easy.
Perfect.
.com Video Drew.
Tim, where can the good people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter, TFranco84, Tim Franco.
I was same age, boy.
That's pretty much the only kind of social media I really rock with. I'm on Instagram, AZBatman84, but I don't post a whole lot in there anymore. If anyone beer drinkers, you can find me on Untapped as well, TFranco84. I'm a big beer drinker, so feel free to add me there. Check out my beer postings.
Ah, cool. Awesome. Pat, where can the good people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PJ_Campbell, and of course find me here pretty much every night doing stuff. And then Movie House on Fridays, where I review the latest movies with Ryan Snelling, which has gotten a little bit harder considering, things are closed. So we're basically just doing Netflix movies at this point.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChrisClark8788. Those numbers mean nothing. Be sure to check out Suddenly Soundtracks tomorrow night at 10 p.m. EST with William Bibiani and Whitney Seibold. I'm going to leave you off with a video clip of my band doing Time Warp and Hot Patootie. So, guys, good night and keep rocking.
Hannah, if you want to get...
Listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control. prying eye, just a sharp in your